So I just want to start off with saying, how many of you have gotten a call from a solicitor, let's just say, saying, "Hi ma'am, blah, blah, blah," and ends up going into, "Would you like to donate tonight?" And you hung up on them. Anyone? Okay. So, I am that person. I received work study with Chapman University, and a family friend of mine that works here at Chapman actually referred me to a job called Student Phonathon. And she referred me to the job because she knows that I'm a TV and broadcast journalism major. And she said it would be a great way for me to expand and network, get to talk and connect with alumni and parents of Chapman students. And it would allow my public speaking or my speaking to grow and enhance. So I was loving, how she was explaining the job. But I asked her, what is this job? And she said, well, you do call alumni, you call parents of Chapman students, and you ask them to donate, but that's not it. You also talk to them, and, everyone ends up giving, So I am thrown in. I'm absolutely, in awe. I thought, this is going to be awesome. The pay is great. So I apply for the job, and I get the interview, and I go in, and the interviewers are so nice. They say that they've looked at my resume, it's good, and that I'm a good speaker. And so they end up asking me questions, and I'm answering them well. And then the last question that they ask me is, are you comfortable with asking people to donate $1,000 or more? And in my head, I'm saying, of course I'm not comfortable with asking people to donate $1,000 or more. Who goes up and asks someone to donate $1,000? Who can talk to someone for 3 minutes and at the end say, "So, are you want to donate $1,000?" And it could be, you'd be completely okay with that. So I wasn't comfortable with that at all. But I ended up saying, of course I am, I told her that I fundraised a lot for my clubs back in high school and organizations, and so she liked the answer. I got the job. So after I trained, I go in my first day, and I sit down in my little cubicle. It has my little name on it, and I'm looking around at all of these resources and things that they want us to use. There's a script on my right that says, that shows all these questions that we need to ask them because it'll help us connect with them. There's a script on my left that says how to overcome objections. So basically, if they say no, how to simply say, "Oh, I understand," and then continue to ask them to donate and it be smooth, I guess. And then there's a script that they put right in front of our desk, right on the keyboard, and it literally guides you through a conversation. It is literally a conversation, and they have everything there for you. So my first thoughts are, this is going to be completely easy. I'll go directly off of the script, and I'll be good to go. So I ended up calling people, and I went directly off the script. I'm nervous, and my first few people are so rude. I got someone that hung up on me. I got someone that yelled at me to take them off the list. I got someone that couldn't even speak English. I don't even know why. And then that's what led me to my question was, how are some callers more successful than others? Because if you really think about it, if we have a script in front of us, we should all have the same amount of money that people donate, the same amount, that we are all raising. And it was really interesting to me because I saw that some returner callers got less or fundraised less money than some new callers that just got the job, a couple months ago. So that was my question. And so I was really interested in this. This is my job. I obviously want to do well at it. I don't want to suck. So I actually looked it up. And studies actually show that with calling, sharing emotions is a way of connecting with others to reach an emotional agreement. Let's see. Emotional contagion is very functional and has a good purpose. It makes our interaction smoother. It helps us understand one another better, and it can be very motivating. And I'm looking at all of these, the kind of social psychology of calling people and the mirror effects of emotions and how our emotions are conveyed over the phone, because it's obviously a lot harder to connect with people over the phone and not person to person. And then I said, how are we supposed to connect with people if we have a script that's supposed to guide us through our talks? And so I'm thinking of this, and I'm calling people too, and I actually lead into a call with someone, a lady, a parent of a current Chapman student, and it was the most life-changing call. And I start off reading the script as usual, and I say, "Hi ma'am, my name is Courtney Bankhead. I'm a student calling from Chapman University. How are you doing tonight?" And she says, "Courtney, is that your name?" And I say, "Yes, ma'am." And she says, "Well, Courtney, I'm so glad that you called tonight. I've actually been wanting to speak to someone from Chapman for a couple of days now." And I say, "Oh, is that right?" So I'm thinking in the back of my head, she's going to donate $1,000. This is going to be awesome. And she actually leads in, and she goes and says, "Well, honey, this past week, I recently got out of the hospital. I've been in there for 4 years. I've been struggling with cancer, but they told me a couple days ago that I'm cancer-free." And I literally start tearing up. It has a special part in my heart, so I start tearing up. And she goes on to say how she was scared that she wouldn't see her son graduate. She got to a point where she, wasn't going to see him graduate. She was so scared of, her situation and her illness. And so she's saying how she wants to get involved, and she wants me to put her on the sign-up list for volunteering at Chapman. So I'm thinking this lady might donate more than $1,000 at this point. She's so happy, blah, 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 blah. And then she goes completely into saying, "You know what, honey? I really want to donate at this time, but I honestly can't. I'm still struggling with paying for my medical debt, and I'm also paying for my son's Chapman tuition." And that's when I came to my moment of realization. This is how I would answer, this is how I would react to the call if I was reading off the script. I would say something like this. This is the script, by the way. I would say something like, "Okay, ma'am, I completely understand. But at Chapman we try to support our students through fundraising and scholarships and fundraisers such as that. I actually received a Chapman scholarship coming into school, so that was the only way I could attend. And I've talked to parents that are in your situation tonight, ma'am, and they've actually been able to donate $50. And so that's how I would react if I used the script. But in reality, I called her, and I was on the phone, and I said, "You know what, ma'am, I completely understand. I'm so happy for you, and I'm so glad that they said that you're cancer-free. I look forward to talking to you. I'll put you back on my callback list, but you have a great night," and that was that. And so I look over, and I look around me to see if my supervisor is mad, and she actually looks over and she smiles at me, and she does a little silent clap. And that's when I thought, I don't need to use a script. The most conversational phone calls that I've had were when I've talked to people that, it was natural, and our emotions did connect, and they could sense that. And so I was also thinking too, when I was on the phone with this lady, I was on the phone with her for 25 minutes, and I didn't use the script after asking her for basic information. And that's what led me to thinking, that's how people raise more money. They don't use the script, and they just talk, because that's what our phone call, and that's what my job really is about. And it's about talking to people, and it's about networking. I've only worked there for 2.5 months now, and I've already raised the most money in our Chapman Fund. I've already raised over $4,877, all from just naturally talking. I don't use the script, and people ask me, "Oh, how do you do it, Courtney?" Blah blah blah, and I just tell them, don't use the script. Things aren't natural. There is no linear way of looking at things. There's no formulaic way of talking to people. You just talk. And I've had phone calls where I didn't use the script, and it was awkward, or it was kind of short and it was slow, and I'm thinking I should go use the script, but I didn't. And you will get those calls where people are yelling at you, screaming, saying, "Take me off the list," and you'll get calls where people hang up on you But that's just the way it goes. And you roll with the punches. And not even talking about my job, talking about life in general. You will run into people, and when you meet people, it's not always the most perfect situation, the most perfect conversation. There are awkward moments, there are awkward times, but you just go with it. And you're just natural. And that's just how life is, you know. There is no script that leads you through life. Life is not perfect, you know, and it's kind of the imperfections of everything that shows you that, you know, this is real. I met one of my best friends walking home. We always had the same path walking home. And one day I was like, I'm through with this. This is awkward. So I say, hey, we walked the same path home from school. Can we be friends? And I've been friends with her ever since. It's been 6 years. There wasn't a script that said how to talk to someone when you're walking home and you want to get to know them. So it was, you know, very natural for me. And I do thank my job for teaching me how to not be a robot. Thank you.